Ever buy something and instantly regret it?
Like those shoes that looked amazing in the store but gave you blisters the second you step outside.
Exactly. Now imagine that feeling, but with a car. That new car smell fades,
Yeah.
and you're left with, well, a lemon.
Yeah, a shiny new money pit.
Today we're going to be talking about cars that Consumer Reports suggests you might want to steer clear of. So we're going to be looking at their list of 17 cars to avoid, going from bad to worst. And let me tell you, there are some surprises on this list.
Oh yeah, some big names, even some luxury brands you might not expect to see.
Right. You'd think a hefty price tag would equal reliability, but that's not always the case.
Not always, no. Sometimes you just kiss for the name.
So let's start our descent into automotive hell with number 17,
Okay.
the Chevrolet Blazer. Starting at $44,000, this SUV should at least be able to get you to the grocery store
Right.
without setting off every single warning light on the dashboard.
Oh, the Blazer. Yeah, plagued with reports of the engine stalling, electrical problems that would make a ghost hunter jealous, and fuel economy that'll make you think they accidentally put a Hummer engine in there.
Oh, wow.
Some owners are saying they're spending more on repairs than the car is worth.
It's like paying for a five-star hotel and ending up in a haunted motel, with flickering lights and plumbing. That's like questionable at best.
Seriously, for that price, there are so many better SUVs out there, ones that won't leave you stranded on the side of the road wondering what you did to deserve this.
Let's move on to number 16, the Lincoln Aviator.
Ah, yes, the Aviator. Luxury name, luxury price. But is it actually luxurious?
That's the question.
You're paying anywhere from, let's see, $53,000 all the way up to $88,000 for that Black Label edition.
You expect a smooth ride for that price, right?
You would, but reliability is a huge issue with this one.
We're talking recalls
Hmm.
and not for minor stuff. Electrical system malfunctions, faulty airbags,
Major safety concern.
and to add insult to injury, the fuel economy is just terrible.
Absolutely atrocious. Some owners say they're averaging 18 miles per gallon combined.
Like throwing money away every time you fill up the tank.
Pretty much. Especially compared to other luxury SUVs like the BMW X5 or the Audi Q7.
They perform way better and probably give you less to worry about in the long run.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on to number 15, the Volvo XC60. A beautiful car, gotta give it that. Volvos are known for safety too. But
There's a but there, yeah.
what's lurking beneath that stylish exterior?
Well, it seems like the XC60 might be more about looks than long-term satisfaction.
What kind of problems are we talking about?
Owners report a bunch of issues. Transmission problems, engine stalling, even those fancy driver assist features can act up.
And let's not forget about Volvo maintenance costs.
Yeah, those can really add up. You might end up feeling like you're constantly battling repairs and bills.
Not exactly the peaceful Scandinavian experience you might expect from a Volvo. Okay, on to number 14, and this one might be a bit controversial.
Oh, lay on me.
The Rivian R1T. Electric truck, cool design, great for off-roading.
Sounds impressive.
It is, on paper. But is it ready for prime time? That's the big question.
What are the concerns?
Well, being a newer model, it seems to have its share of issues. Software glitches, suspension problems.
Those can be pretty frustrating.
Yeah, and if you need repairs, be prepared to wait.
Oh, that's not good.
And don't forget, it's electric. Charging infrastructure isn't quite there yet, especially for longer trips.
Range anxiety is a real thing with electric vehicles.
For sure. So, while the Rivian R1T has a lot of potential, maybe wait until they've ironed out some of those kinks.
Good advice.
Next up, at number 13, another electric contender, the Polestar 2.
Stylish.
Very stylish, yeah. But is it all style and no substance?
It seems like the tech might be letting it down a bit. Ironically, for a car with a Google-powered infotainment system.
That very system seems to be the problem.
Yeah, lots of glitches reported.
And the range, while not terrible, doesn't quite measure up to some of its competitors, like the Tesla Model 3, for instance.
Right.
Plus, early models had a pretty scary issued battery problems that could shut the whole system down. Imagine that happening while you're driving on the highway.
That would be terrifying.
Talk about a sudden stop. And you'd be at the mercy of, well, limited service centers and potentially high repair costs.
Not a great combination.
Okay, let's move on to number 12, a vehicle that's making a comeback.
Oh, a blast from the past. Which one?
The Ford Bronco. It's back with that rugged, retro look.
I can see the appeal.
It's definitely got that cool factor. But it seems like reliability is, well, a bit of a Bronco to tame.
What kind of issues are we talking about?
Recalls, and not just minor ones.
Oh,
We're talking cracked fuel injectors, which could be a fire hazard.
that's serious.
Yeah, and then there are the engine and transmission problems that seem to plague some owners.
Not the kind of adventure you're looking for.
Right. Plus, the interior feels a bit cheap for the price, and the ride can be pretty rough. Maybe not the best choice for everyday driving,
So it's more of a specialized vehicle then.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, number 11, the Buick Encore. Compact. Seems perfect for city driving,
Right. Makes sense.
but maybe a little too compact.
What do you mean?
Well, that little engine really struggles to accelerate, especially if you need to merge onto the highway or pass someone.
You don't want to be stuck behind a slowpoke.
Definitely not. And then, of course, we have the usual suspects: transmission problems, AC issues, electrical gremlins.
Always popping up.
It's like they come with the car.
Built-in features almost.
Right. And don't even get me started on the safety features and the infotainment system.
The date.
Like a rotary phone in a smartphone world,
Yeah.
it does get decent gas mileage, but
But not enough to make up for the rest.
exactly. Okay, let's move on to something a little bigger. Number 10, the Dodge Durango.
Ah, the Durango. I can practically hear that V8 engine roaring.
It's got that bold, powerful vibe for sure. Great for towing, too, if you're into that
Yeah, I can see that, but
fuel economy.
the Achilles heel of many a powerful vehicle.
It's a guzzler, especially if you go for that V8 engine. Be prepared to spend a lot of time and money at the gas station.
Especially these days.
Oh, yeah. And there have been reports of engine failures and exhaust issues, too.
Not what you want from a car that's supposed to be powerful and reliable.
Definitely not. Plus, it's a bit bulky to drive, especially in city traffic. Maybe not the best choice for everyday commuting.
Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here.
What's that?
Seems like a lot of these cars promise one thing but deliver another.
You're absolutely right. That's kind of the whole point of this deep dive.
To warn people, to help them avoid these automotive pitfalls.
Exactly. Let's continue our journey through the Hall of Shame with number 9, the Jeep Wrangler. An off-road icon, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the Wrangler has a loyal following.
But it's also known for its quirks.
Quirks.
Electrical gremlins that love to play hide and seek. Rust issues that might require a tetanus shot.
That's not good.
And engine noise that sounds like a metal band practicing in your driveway.
Ouch. So, not exactly a peaceful ride.
Not unless you're off-roading and far away from civilization.
And what about on-road driving?
The steering is vague. Some people compare it to steering a boat.
Not exactly confidence-inspiring.
No. And that rough ride, you'll feel every bump and pothole. Oh, and don't forget the recalls.
Of course, there are always recalls. What for this time?
Fuel lines, airbags. Some models have even had structural cracks.
Yeah.
Not exactly reassuring.
No, not at all. So maybe the Wrangler is best left to its natural habitat, off-roading.
Probably a wise choice.
Okay, what's next on our list of automotive regrets?
Number 8, the Jaguar F-Pace. Luxurious, stylish.
Sounds appealing.
It is, on the surface. But those looks can be deceiving.
In what way?
Let's just say that the repair bills can be as heart-stopping as the Jaguar's acceleration.
Oh no, not another unreliable luxury car. What seems to be the problem?
Electrical issues are a common complaint. Excessive oil consumption, failing fuel pumps, and there have been recalls for faulty brake systems,
Faulty brakes, that's scary.
especially in a car that's supposed to be all about performance and handling. It seems like the F-Pace spends more time in the shop than on the road.
How much for that luxurious driving experience?
Right. It's a shame because it is a beautiful car. But that beauty fades quickly when you're constantly dealing with repairs and worrying about what's going to break next.
Okay, I'm starting to see a trend here. A lot of these cars are all about style over substance.
You're absolutely right. It's like they're designed to impress in the showroom, but fall apart in the real world.
Oh.
Let's move on to number 7, a truck that's seen better days,
Which one?
the Nissan Frontier.
Oh, the Frontier. It's been around for a while.
It has, but it seems like time hasn't been very kind to it, especially for models from 2005 to 2010 and 2013 to 2018.
What kind of problems are we talking about?
Transmission failures, engine problems, defective airbags, paint that chips off easily.
Sounds like a real headache.
It is. And the fuel economy is nothing to write home about either.
So it's basically a truck that's stuck in the past.
Pretty much. Even the newer models, while they've tried to modernize the design, are still lagging behind the competition when it comes to features, value, and overall refinement.
Okay, I'm making a note to avoid the Nissan Frontier. What's next on our list of automotive nightmares?
Number 6, the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. It's a minivan, but it's a hybrid, so it's got that eco-friendly appeal.
Right, families love minivans, and the hybrid aspect is definitely attractive.
It is. It's spacious, comfortable, gets great gas mileage.
Sounds like the perfect family vehicle, so what's the catch?
Reliability, especially for the 2021 model.
What kind of reliability issues are we talking about?
EV battery problems, in-car electronics that seem to have a mind of their own, charging system malfunctions.
Not exactly ideal for families on the go.
No. And there was even a recall for the 2023 model because of a defective wiring connector in the transmission that could cause the engine to stall unexpectedly.
That's a safety hazard.
It is. And imagine being stranded on the side of the road with a car full of cranky kids because your hybrid minivan decided to take a nap. Not a fun experience.
No, not at all. So while the Pacifica Hybrid has its advantages, those reliability concerns are a major drawback. What's up next?
Number 5, a car that might tempt you with its affordable price. The Volkswagen Jetta.
The Jetta. I've always thought of that as a reliable car.
It has been in the past, but it seems like reliability has taken a nosedive in recent years.
What kind of problems are we talking about?
Transmission failures, engine stalling, electrical problems.
The usual suspects.
And those problems can lead to some pretty hefty repair bills.
So that affordable price tag might not be so affordable in the long run.
Exactly. Plus, there have been recalls for defective fuel lines and airbag malfunctions. Safety is a concern with this one.
Not good. So maybe it's best to steer clear of the Jetta for now. What's next on our list of automotive disappointments?
Number 4, another luxury SUV that might break your heart and your bank account. The Land Rover Range Rover Sport.
Ah, the Range Rover. Beautiful car, but notorious for its high maintenance costs.
That's an understatement. Those complex systems, expensive parts, and frequent trips to the mechanic can really drain your wallet.
It's like having a money pit on wheels.
Pretty much. And some model years are particularly bad. We're talking 2006 to 2008 and 2013. Those were plagued with engine, transmission, and electrical issues that made owning a Range Rover feel like a full-time job.
So, unless you have a bottomless bank account and a lot of patience, it's probably best to admire the Range Rover Sport from afar.
Agreed. Okay, we're entering the top 3 now. These are some real doozies.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Number 3 is the Fiat 500L.
Fiat 500L! That cute little car.
It is cute, but it's also a prime example of you get what you pay for.
What went wrong with this one?
Everything. Transmission failures, engine stalling, lack of advanced safety features, numerous recalls for all sorts of problems.
It's like a walking, or rather driving disaster.
Pretty much. It's cramped inside, has terrible fuel economy, and the ride is about as smooth as riding a jackhammer.
And to top it all off, it depreciates faster than a banana in a fruit fly convention.
Exactly. Fiat actually discontinued the 500L in 2021, and it's not hard to see why. It was a car that nobody seemed to want.
Okay, I'm definitely avoiding the Fiat 500L. What's next?
Number 2 on our list of cars to avoid like the plague is the GMC Sierra 1500.
The Sierra, but that's a popular truck.
It is popular, but don't let that fool you. The Sierra has been plagued with reliability issues that make it a risky choice.
Like what?
Transmission failures, engine problems, faulty electronics, steering component issues.
Sounds like a mechanic's dream.
It is, and the repair costs can be astronomical. Plus, there have been some serious recalls, including one for brake system failures.
That's terrifying.
And another recall involved fire risks associated with the engine block heater. So not only is it unreliable, but it might also spontaneously combust.
No, thank you. I'll stick with a safer and more reliable truck.
Good choice. All right, we've reached the bottom of the barrel. The number 1 car that nobody seems to want to buy is, drumroll please,
I'm holding my breath.
the Mitsubishi Mirage.
The Mirage. But it's so cheap.
That's the trap. That low price tag is tempting, but it comes with a whole lot of baggage.
What kind of baggage?
Well, that 3-cylinder engine is about as powerful as a hamster running on a wheel. It's weak, noisy, and the acceleration is glacial.
So not exactly a thrill ride.
No. And the handling is sloppy, the interior is cheap, and the ride quality is rough.
Sounds like a recipe for a miserable driving experience.
It is. And don't forget about the Mirage's poor performance in crash tests. Safety is a major concern.
What about recalls?
Numerous. Airbags, brakes, air conditioning, you name it. It's like this car was designed to fall apart.
And the worst part is you're stuck with it because you were lured in by that low price.
Exactly. Buyer's remorse at its finest. And you know what's even worse?
What's that?
Mitsubishi is actually discontinuing the Mirage in the U.S. market.
So they're finally admitting defeat.
It seems so. They realize that even a low price tag can't disguise a truly terrible car. That Mitsubishi Mirage. It really does make you wonder how a car like that even makes it to market.
I know, right? It's almost like a case study in how not to build a car.
But hey, it's a good reminder for all of us out there who are thinking about buying a car. Do your research.
Absolutely. Don't fall for that low price tag or those flashy
A
ads.
car is a big investment.
You want to make sure you're not setting yourself up for years of frustration and repair bills.
So how do we avoid falling into that trap? How do we make sure we're getting a reliable car that's not going to leave us stranded on the side of the road?
Well, first of all, don't just listen to the salesperson.
We're trying to make a sale, right? Of
Ex-
course they're going to paint a rosy picture.
Exactly. You need to do your own independent research. And luckily, there are a lot of resources available these days.
Like what?
Consumer Reports is a great place to start.
Yeah, I've heard of them. What do they do?
They do these really thorough tests and provide unbiased reviews and reliability ratings.
So you're not just getting the marketing spiel.
Nope. You're getting real data based on feedback from actual car owners.
Okay, that makes sense.
What else? Online reviews are your friend.
Oh yeah, those can be helpful.
Websites like Edmunds, Kelley Blue Book, Cars.com, they can give you a glimpse into the real-life experiences of people who have actually owned the car you're considering.
So you can see what kind of problems they've encountered, what they love about the car, what they hate about it.
Right. Look for patterns in those reviews. If you see multiple people complaining about the same issue, that's a red flag, like a big warning sign that maybe you should steer clear of that particular model.
Makes sense. It's like crowdsourced information. You're tapping into the wisdom of the masses.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned test drive.
Yeah, that's crucial. You can read all the reviews you want, but you got to get behind the wheel and see how the car feels.
Absolutely. Don't just take it for a quick spin around the block either. Take it on the highway, test the brakes, see how it handles in different conditions, get a real feel for the car.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like dating, you know? You wouldn't marry someone after just one date. You got to spend some quality time together first.
I like that analogy. And if you're serious about buying a used car, consider getting a pre-purchase inspection from a trusted mechanic.
Ah, that's a good tip. Never thought of that.
It's an extra expense, but it can save you a lot of heartache and money down the road.
Because a mechanic can spot those hidden problems that you might not notice.
Exactly. They can tell you if the car's been in any accidents, if there are any major repairs needed, if it's been properly maintained. It's like getting a second opinion before you make a big commitment.
It's peace of mind, essentially.
Yeah.
You're investing in information that can help you make a more informed decision.
Exactly. Knowledge is power when it comes to buying a car.
Well said. Okay, so we've talked about the cars to avoid, the importance of research and test drives, and getting a pre-purchase inspection for used cars. But what about the cars that are actually worth buying? The ones that won't leave us stranded and regretting our decision?
Yes. The automotive heroes. The vehicles that will make you feel like you got your money's worth. Let's talk about those.
So if we're looking for reliability, performance, and value, where do we start? What brands should we be looking at?
Well, one brand that consistently ranks high in reliability surveys is Toyota.
Toyota. Yeah, I've always heard good things about Toyotas.
They have a well-deserved reputation for building cars that last. Their models tend to hold their value well over time, too, so you're not going to see that steep depreciation that you might see with some other brands.
So if I'm looking for a sedan, what would you recommend from Toyota?
Well, the Camry and the Corolla are perennial favorites.
The Camry and the Corolla, yeah, I see those everywhere. They seem to be really popular.
They are, and for good reason. They're fuel efficient, they offer a comfortable ride, and they're known for their reliability. Can't really go wrong with a Camry or a Corolla.
Okay, good to know. What about SUVs? Any recommendations from Toyota in that category?
The RAV4 and the Highlander are both solid choices.
The RAV4 and the Highlander. Yeah, those are popular too.
They are. They offer a great balance between space, comfort, features, and reliability. You get a lot of bang for your buck with those models.
Okay, I'm making a note of those. What other brands should we be considering?
Well, if reliability is your top priority, you can't go wrong with Honda.
Honda. Yeah, I've heard good things about Hondas too.
They're right up there with Toyota in terms of reliability. The Civic and the Accord are two of the most popular cars on the road for a reason. They're fuel efficient, fun to drive, and they just keep going.
They're like the Energizer Bunny of cars.
Exactly. And if you're looking for an SUV, the CR-V and the Pilot are both excellent options.
The CR-V and the Pilot. Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here. It seems like Japanese brands are really dominating when it comes to reliability.
They are. They've really mastered the art of building cars that last.
Okay, good to know. So Toyota and Honda are at the top of the list for reliability. What if we're looking for something a little more luxurious? Do those brands have any luxury divisions?
They do.
Mm,
Toyota has Lexus, and Honda has Acura.
Lexus and Acura? Okay, I've heard of those. Are they as reliable as their parent companies?
They are. They benefit from the same engineering and manufacturing expertise. Lexus is known for its smooth ride, high-end features, and impeccable reliability. It's like driving on a cloud.
And Acura?
Acura is known for its sporty handling, sleek designs, and impressive durability. It's like getting the best of both worlds, luxury and reliability.
Okay, those are good options to keep in mind. What if we're looking for something with a little more, personality, something that's fun to drive, maybe a little sporty?
Well, if you're a fan of sporty handling and precise steering, you might want to consider a Mazda.
Mazda. Yeah, I've heard they're fun to drive.
They are. They have this philosophy they call Zoom Zoom. It's all about that feeling of connection between the car and the driver.
So what would you recommend from Mazda?
The Mazda 3 and the Mazda 6 are both great options in the sedan category. They're stylish, fun to drive, and they offer a good balance between performance and practicality.
Okay, and what about SUVs? Does Mazda make any sporty SUVs?
They do. The CX-5 and the CX-9 are both worth checking out. They offer that same sporty handling and sleek design that you find in their sedans, but with the added space and versatility of an SUV.
Okay, I'm getting the urge to go test drive some cars now.
That's the spirit. But before you hit the dealership, there are a few more brands I want to mention.
Okay, look on me.
If you're looking for a blend of luxury and performance, you can't go wrong with a BMW.
BMW. Yeah, those are classic. I've always loved the look of BMWs.
They're beautiful cars, and they're known for their handling, their powerful engines, and their high-end interiors.
So if I want to feel like a race car driver, I should get a BMW.
Well, they are known for their performance. The 3 Series and the 5 Series are iconic sedans that offer a thrilling driving experience. And if you're looking for an SUV, the X3 and the X5 are both popular choices.
Okay, BMW's on the list. What else?
Well, if you're looking for the ultimate driver's car, you can't go wrong with a Porsche.
Porsche. Yeah, those are legendary. But aren't they, really expensive?
They are. They're not for the faint of heart, both in terms of price and performance. But if you're serious about driving, a Porsche is an experience unlike any other. The 911 is the classic Porsche, the one that everyone dreams of owning. And they also make some amazing SUVs, like the Cayenne and the Macan.
Okay, so Porsche is for those who are really, really into cars.
Pretty much. They're for the enthusiasts, the people who want the best of the best.
Got it. Any other brands we should be considering?
Well, if you're looking for something a little more unique, a little quirky, you might want to check out a Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper. Yeah, those are cute.
They are, and they're surprisingly spacious inside. Plus, they handle like go-karts. They're a blast to drive.
Okay, Mini Cooper's on the list. What about those super small cars, like the Smart Car?
Well, those are definitely unique, but they can be a little impractical for everyday driving.
Yeah, I can see that. They're probably best for city driving, where parking is a premium.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of different brands, from Toyota and Honda to BMW and Porsche. What about hybrid and electric cars?
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about those. They're becoming more and more popular, and for good reason.
Yeah, what's the appeal of hybrid and electric cars?
Well, for starters, they're more fuel efficient than gas-powered cars, so you're saving money on gas and you're reducing your carbon footprint.
That's a win-win. What's the difference between a hybrid and an electric car?
A hybrid car has both a gasoline engine and an electric motor. The electric motor kicks in at low speeds or when you're coasting, which helps to save fuel.
So it's like a combination of the two.
Exactly. And then a fully electric car runs solely on electricity. You plug it in to charge it, just like you would your phone.
Okay, I'm starting to understand. So what are some popular hybrid models?
Well, the Toyota Prius is probably the most well-known hybrid.
The Prius. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those on the road.
They've been around for a while, and they have a great reputation for reliability and fuel efficiency.
What other hybrid models are out there?
The Honda Insight and the Hyundai Ioniq are both great options. They offer a good balance between fuel efficiency, practicality, and price.
Okay, and what about fully electric cars? What are some popular models in that category?
Well, the Tesla Model 3 is probably the most popular electric car on the market right now.
The Tesla Model 3. Yeah, those are everywhere these days.
They are. Tesla has really been a leader in the electric car market. They make great cars, but they can be a little pricey.
Okay, what about some more affordable electric car options?
The Chevrolet Bolt and the Nissan Leaf are both good choices. They're not as fancy as the Tesla, but they're more affordable, and they still offer good range and performance.
Okay, so we've got a lot of options to consider. Hybrids, electric cars, traditional gas-powered cars.
Hmm.
It can be overwhelming.
It can be. But the good news is there's a car out there for everyone. It's just a matter of finding the right one for your needs and your budget.
Well said. And remember, folks, do your research. Don't just rush into buying a car without carefully considering your options.
Absolutely. Think about your lifestyle, your driving needs, your budget, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
There are a lot of resources available, both online and in person, to help you make an informed decision.
Exactly. Buying a car should be an exciting experience, not a stressful one. So take your time, do your homework, and find the car that's perfect for you.
Well said. Now, we've talked a lot about the cars themselves, but there's another important aspect of car ownership that we haven't really touched on yet:
Oh, what's that?
the hidden costs.
Ah, yes, the costs that sneak up on you like a parking ticket ninja.
Exactly. Because the price tag on that shiny new car is just the tip of the iceberg.
It is. There are so many other expenses that can really add up over time.
Like what? Give us the rundown.
Well, you've got depreciation, which is the value your car loses over time.
Right. So the second you drive that new car off the lot, it's already worth less than what you paid for it.
Unfortunately, that's how it works. And the rate of depreciation varies depending on the make and model of the car. Some cars hold their value better than others.
Okay. So depreciation is one hidden cost. What else?
You've got insurance.
Insurance. Yeah, that's a big one.
It is. And the cost of insurance can vary widely depending on your driving record, your age, the type of car you drive, where you live, and a whole bunch of other factors.
So it's really important to shop around for insurance and get quotes from multiple companies.
Absolutely. Don't just go with the first quote you get. You might be able to save a lot of money by comparing rates.
Okay, good advice. So depreciation and insurance are two big hidden costs. What else should we be aware of?
Maintenance and repairs?
Oh yeah, those can really add up, especially as the car gets older.
They do. You've got oil changes, tire rotations, brake pads, air filters, spark plugs. The list goes on and on.
It's like a never-ending cycle of repairs and maintenance.
It can feel that way sometimes. And then, of course, there are those unexpected repairs that can pop up out of nowhere.
Like when your transmission decides to take a vacation.
Exactly. Or when your engine starts making funny noises. Those kinds of repairs can be really expensive.
So it's important to factor those potential costs into your budget when you're thinking about buying a car.
Absolutely. Don't just look at the monthly car payment. Think about all the other expenses that come with owning a car.
Good advice. So depreciation, insurance, maintenance, and repairs. Those are the big four hidden costs of car ownership. Anything else we should be aware of?
Well, you've got fuel costs.
Fuel costs. Yeah, those have been pretty volatile lately.
They have. The price of gas goes up and down like a yo-yo. And depending on how much you drive, fuel costs can really eat into your budget.
Okay, so factor in fuel costs. Anything else?
Parking fees and tolls.
Oh, yeah, those can add up too, especially if you live in a city or if you commute a long distance.
They can, so it's important to factor those costs into your budget as well.
Okay, so we've got depreciation, insurance, maintenance and repairs, fuel costs, parking fees, and tolls. That's a lot to consider.
It is, but it's important to be aware of all these hidden costs so you can make a more informed decision when you're buying a car.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buying a new car, but it's important to be realistic about the costs involved.
Right. You don't want to end up with a car that you can't afford to own.
Well said. Okay, so we've covered the hidden costs of car ownership. What else do we need to think about?
Safety.
Safety. Yeah, that's obviously important. But we kind of touched on that earlier when we were talking about the safety features of different cars.
We did, but I think it's worth emphasizing again.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Safety should be your top priority when you're buying a car.
Absolutely. But what are some things we could do to make sure we're choosing a safe car?
Well, first of all, you can check out the safety ratings from organizations like the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, IIHS.
NHTSA and IIHS. Okay, I've heard of those. What do they do?
They conduct rigorous crash tests and provide valuable information about how well different cars protect their occupants in the event of an accident.
So they're like the crash test dummies of the automotive world.
Sort of. But they're doing really important work. They're helping to make cars safer for everyone.
Okay, so check out the safety ratings. What else?
Make sure the car you're considering has the safety features that are important to you.
Like airbags, anti-lock brakes,
Yeah.
electronic stability control, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And don't forget about newer safety features like lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, and adaptive cruise control.
Yeah, those can be really helpful, especially on long drives. They can help to prevent accidents and keep you safe.
Exactly.
Okay, so safety ratings and safety features. Anything else?
Well, once you've chosen a car, make sure it's properly maintained.
Maintenance, yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's important for reliability, but it's also important for safety.
Absolutely. Make sure you're getting regular oil changes, tire rotations, brake inspections, all that good stuff.
Because a well-maintained car is a safer car.
Exactly. And don't forget about the most important safety feature of all, the driver.
The driver.
Yep, you. You're the one who's ultimately responsible for your safety and the safety of your passengers. So make sure you're always practicing safe driving habits. Wear your seatbelt, obey the speed limit, don't drive distracted, and never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Well said. Safety first, always. So we've talked about the good cars, the bad cars, and the hidden costs that can sneak up on you.
But the automotive world is changing fast, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Electric cars are becoming more popular. Self-driving cars are on the horizon.
Makes you wonder what the future holds for car ownership.
It does. So let's dive into that. What are some of the biggest trends shaping the future of driving?
Well, electric vehicles are definitely leading the charge, so to speak.
Yeah, it seems like every car company is coming out with an electric model these days.
And the technology is improving rapidly. We're seeing longer ranges, faster charging time.
Yeah, more charging stations popping up everywhere.
Exactly. Range anxiety is becoming less of an issue.
Plus, electric cars have those other benefits, like being quieter and smoother to drive.
And they require less maintenance, no more oil changes.
And of course, the big one, zero emissions.
That's a major plus for the environment.
So electric cars seem like a pretty safe bet for the future. But what about self-driving cars?
Ah, the autonomous vehicles. They're still in the early stages of development.
Yeah, I haven't seen any driverless cars on the roads yet.
Not quite yet. There are still some technological hurdles to overcome.
Like making sure they can handle all kinds of road conditions and unexpected situations.
Exactly. And then there are those ethical and legal questions to sort out.
Like who's responsible if a self-driving car gets into an accident?
Right. Those are complex issues that need to be addressed before self-driving cars become mainstream.
But the potential benefits are huge, right?
Oh, absolutely. Self-driving cars could make our roads safer.
And they could reduce traffic congestion.
And they could provide greater mobility for people who are unable to drive themselves.
So it's not just about convenience. It's about accessibility, too.
Exactly. But it'll probably be a while before we see self-driving cars everywhere.
Okay, so electric cars are gaining momentum, and self-driving cars are still a ways off. What other trends are shaping the future of car ownership?
Well, ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft have already had a huge impact.
Yeah, they've changed the way a lot of people get around.
Look, they've also led to an increase in carpooling, which is great for reducing traffic and emissions.
So it's not just about owning a car anymore. It's about having access to transportation when you need it.
Exactly. And that trend is likely to continue.
So what's the future of car ownership going to look like? Will we all be driving electric self-driving cars? Or will we be relying more on ride-sharing and public transportation?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think we'll probably see a mix of all those things.
A transportation mosaic, so to speak.
Exactly. Different options for different needs and lifestyles.
So the future of transportation is looking pretty diverse and dynamic.
It is. It's an exciting time to be following the automotive world.
It definitely is. Well, I think we've covered just about everything we wanted to cover in this deep dive.
We've gone from those clunkers to the cutting edge.
From buyer's remorse to the future of transportation, we've talked about reliability, performance, safety, hidden costs.
And those big trends that are shaping the automotive landscape.
So whether you're a car enthusiast or just someone who needs a reliable set of wheels,
We hope you found this deep dive informative and maybe even a little bit entertaining.
we encourage you to do your research, think carefully about your needs.
And most importantly, enjoy the ride.
Safe travels, everyone.